Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Call Box. This is where you go for police info. I'm your host, Lieutenant Vince Lewis, and here with my co-host, PIO Sgt. Rob Scherer. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks, boss. Good to be here.
So today we have some pretty good information.
Yeah.
It's and normally we play a commercial in the middle of the break, but the commercial is about police information, how to join phxpd.com, where to go to get information about becoming a police officer. But listen, not just police officers, but public safety across the board. We've got experts here that are just going to blow that commercial away.
Right.
With the information that they're going to give us, anybody out there who's willing or interested and able can join up with the Phoenix Public Safety crew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be, we don't need to play that commercial. We've got two sides. We've invited fire. This is rare, okay? There's an inherent competitive element, but this is nice. This is good. We work together every day basis, and we're going to recruit together today. So,
Yeah, you can feel the heat coming from the left side of the
Not
table.
saying we're on opposite sides for a reason right now, but it's fine. It's good. We'll work through it. We got this.
Let's introduce our guest.
Yes.
Welcome back to the show, Senior PIO Stacie Hainke from the Police Recruiting Unit.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And Richie.
Yes, Captain Richie Robnett. I've been on the job for 13 years, and I've been working in the recruitment officer role for almost 2 years now.
For the Phoenix Fire.
For the Phoenix Fire Department.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. I always tell people with two dads on the department, growing up here and doing all that whatnot, naturally I wanted to be a firefighter.
Yeah,
I went to the classes, I got the associates, I took the tests and everything. In fact, two fire departments turned me down.
Really?
So yeah, head down, I wandered into the police station and they're like, we'll give you a job. So here I am. But yeah, so I don't know, how was your path to becoming a firefighter, Richie?
You know what? I think it was actually pretty streamless, and I think that was more by luck than ability. But once I got interested in the fire service, I was actually in the EMT class when Phoenix was testing. And I ended up taking that test, and just the way the timeline worked out, that I was able to finish my EMT class, along with a couple other courses, Fire 1 and 2 Academy and Hazmat, before I got offered an interview. And I ended up getting hired on that first interview process.
So it's traditional for you guys to front load a lot of the education, certifications, and training ahead of even getting into the fire academy, right?
Absolutely. EMT probably being our biggest our prerequisite that we do have for our candidates coming through, but you will see a lot of other candidates that are coming through that do have a Fire 1 and 2 Academy experience, which is a college level course. But it does give you a good idea if this is something that you really want to do prior to going through this entire process.
As far as you being in recruiting for 2 years, this is kind of your chance to pitch. So, like, what are you saying? What's bringing people to the Phoenix Fire Department? What are you guys doing now that may be different than when you got on 13 years ago?
I think we're doing things to kind of make things a little bit more streamlined for our candidates. We have now switched over to online testing, which allows us to gain a wider reach of folks outside the city of Phoenix limits. It's allowed us to get more out-of-state folks as well, but it also gives you a time frame to take the test. You're not trying to take off work or make plans to show up for one day that we're taking the test down at the Civic Center, but now you can take it from the comfort of your own home. You can take it from work, school, wherever you have the availability to do that. And we're continually to find different ways to make it a little bit more convenient, if you will, for our candidates. It's not that we don't want people who are hardworking. They are. It's just a lot of people have other obligations. And so we want to value that. We want to value them because that's what we do within this organization, that we value each other. We take care of each other, and we want to start that with our recruitment process.
Yeah, this is blasphemous in some places. PD and fire don't sit down at the same table unless we're here to negotiate, like who's going to fight first or throw the first punch. But no, growing up here, I've always felt when I was around fire, when I was intermingling with you guys, hanging out at your stations, paying for dinner, and just socializing, breaking bread, there is a special thing about Phoenix Fire. It really is kind of a family. Are you feeling that?
Yes, absolutely. I think just in our field of work, when I say ours, PD and fire, when you go through something with somebody and you face a lot of challenges, you kind of unintentionally to start to develop those relationships, that camaraderie, if you will. And these are things that are just continue to grow, not only at work, but off the job as well. What you start seeing is those relationships build to people going to family events, graduations, birthdays, things like that to celebrate each other. And that's really, you bring that off-duty camaraderie, it definitely brings those on-duty positive, productive results.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, when we're all, done with the work and things, that we give each other, guff about, hey, don't drive over the hose, or hey, don't pick up the gun, those kinds of things that we give each other, grief about is, it's camaraderie. It's kind of building relationships, right?
Yeah, I think it's, I don't want to say it's unique to both our jobs, but it's that element of a family thing. growing up out in Maryville, I knew everybody's house. I knew the captains at all the firehouses and all that good stuff, and we'd all stop by. And there's always a good, friendly banter between the two, and that's part of the fun, man. We're out there doing the same thing, serving the same community, and trying to make things better. So.
Yeah. Do you have any family on the job?
Not here in the state. I do have a couple uncles who work out in California, one for Long Beach Fire Department and one for LA County. But they're the ones who actually initially got me interested in the fire service, and then me just living out here in Phoenix at the time, they're really happy that I was out here, and they really valued the stuff that the Phoenix Fire Department brought to the fire service organization, just being innovative and always kind of on the forefront of what's new, and really how to make sure that we're keeping our folks safe, but more importantly that we're taking care of each other.
Yeah, when I was going through my classes in the 90s, Alan Brunacini was the Pope. If the fire department was a church, he was St. Peter. And in fact, as the legend goes, when you see the traditional writing on the back of a Navy T-shirt, it says the city over top of the top rocker and the fire department down below, that started with us, didn't it?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's something that we just continue to try to push, and we really try to instill in the folks that are coming through
the history.
Our process. Yes, it's the history. I mean, because that's our culture, that's our traditions, and we want to continue to leave this place better than we found it, but it starts there.
Good. All right, we're going to flip the coin. We're going to bring in Senior PIO Stacie and talk about this event that we have. It's a joint public safety hiring event. Is that what we're looking at?
Yes, it's our second annual joint Phoenix Police and Fire career experience, and that's exactly what it's going to be, is an experience with the police department and the fire department. It's going to be on March 7th. It's Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon, and we're inviting anyone and everyone that's interested in a career in public safety to come on out. It's going to be interactive. We're going to have demos. Fire is going to have the first demo, I believe, at 9:15 with the live fire evolution. So there's going to be a real fire that they're going to be putting out there at the Fire Academy. And then we're going to have our K-9 officers out there doing demonstrations. Our recruiting officers will be out there to answer any and all questions. Our dispatchers, literally almost every unit within our department will be out there.
As far as the level of where they're at, say in the process, say I'm a kid that grew up and all I wanted to be is a cop. I can show up. What if I don't know? What if I'm almost in the process or anything like that? Like, are you inviting anybody and everybody in this spectrum of kind of the desire, if you will, to this kind of event?
Yes, for sure. Whether it's PD or fire, we're both going to be out there. Whether you're in the process, thinking about it, you're not really sure what you want to do. Maybe you're not even wanting to go sworn. You want to be a civilian. Our lab techs are going to be out there, crime scene specialists, and you can pitch on who's going to be there from you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to represent almost every section within our organization. As we have our affinity groups, who are our mentorship groups, they really help out as far as recruitment and getting good quality candidates to come through our process. But we'll also have our alarm room out there. We'll have our community assistance program out there, our member services section out there. Our drone program will be out there on display. And we really kind of took this idea from like the NFL experience and trying to make this more interactive instead of just static type stations, if you will. So we really want to make this thing interactive, but like just getting back to your point, for anybody who doesn't know anything about public safety, who knows a little bit, or hey, this is what I want to do, it really gives you a first-hand look and experience of what it is that we really do and some of the challenges that we face. And I think you can't get it any better than that, than just coming from somewhere else and just asking somebody about the job. But go experience for yourself, and that's what this opportunity is on March 7th.
This is going to be great. So March 7th, 2026, coming up from 9 to 11, and it's where again?
The Phoenix Fire Academy.
Phoenix Fire Academy, and the address?
The address.
2424?
2425 West
2425 West Lower Buckeye.
How do I know that?
Yeah, that's where the Emergency Operations Center is. So, Captain Richie, what we say usually when we talk about people wanting to be police officers is that the one thing that gets you in the door, the one thing that starts the conversation that kind of draws you in is a spirit of service. We're looking for people that have that in their hearts. They want to get out there. They don't necessarily know what or how, but they want to do something to serve others. How do you guys get the hook in, so to speak, with the fire department people?
So you know what, a lot of it is very much the same. You know, we do monthly recruitment information sessions, and a lot of the folks that come through there, it's exactly that. It's that spirit of service. You know, they want to be something bigger, or part of something bigger than themselves. And what we're doing is we're showing them how they can do that. And honestly, like when we're talking about what we do for our community, and it's not just getting on and off fire trucks and running EMS calls and fire calls, but everything else that we do as far as community relationships and outreach and things like that, and fundraisers and stuff like that. And we show them a variety of ways of how they can be involved in the community. And I think that's what really hooks them. And when they can go out there and they can represent the city of Phoenix, whether that's PD or fire, to be quite honest, there's a lot of pride that comes with that. And that's something that I think that a lot of these folks seek.
Stacie, I'm going to come back to you for this because I think you touched on it a little bit with really kind of your path in this department, and I'll lean on you because your path's pretty profound on where you started and how now you're in the center of recruiting people to come sworn. But you're not sworn, but it kind of was instilled family-wise, but you had that spirit of service and found a different path, you know, and you're going to have some of those services out here on this event. Talk a little bit about that and how maybe it's not just a sworn person, because we say it all the time, professional staff, and I can imagine it's the same in yours, without professional staff and those people, you know, taking care of us on a day-to-day basis and doing all those jobs that necessarily probably we can't do half of them. If not vastly more than half. But talk about that and that spirit of service and how your path has gone here.
Yeah, so my career path started about 20 years ago in the Communications Bureau. I was a dispatcher for about 10 years, and I went over to our training unit. So that's the unit that's responsible for recruiting and hiring and training our new operators and dispatchers. After I was there for a little bit, they actually pulled me over to recruiting. To recruit dispatchers on the sworn squad, and then I kind of made my way into the Public Affairs Bureau with Lieutenant Lewis here, and then now I'm back in our Employment Services unit in recruiting and managing marketing and recruiting. So
we used to say find the blue in you, but I mean it's blue, red, whatever it is, it's that spirit of service. So we're talking about an event coming up. Give us one more time, run down the details on the event.
So it's Saturday, March 7th from 9 a.m. to noon at the Phoenix Fire Academy. It's 2425 West Lower Buckeye. Anyone and everyone that's interested in public service, public safety, come on out, or it's going to be interactive. If you'd like to learn more information, you can follow either one of our Instagrams, Join PHX PD or Join PHX Fire, I believe. Or our website, joinphxpd.com, to learn a little bit more. But we'd love to see everyone out there this weekend.
Okay, do they need to bring anything more than just ID if they're interested, or do they talk to recruiters and figure it out? You don't need to bring anything with you?
Nothing to bring with you. We will have food trucks out there. Our ice cream truck will be there, so there'll be food. Lots going on. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, bring yourselves. Bring anybody that you feel will be interested. That's what we're really looking for. Bring your families. You know, it's important that they come with you as well if that's something that this is a job that you're interested to pursue, because you know what? They're going to be going through it with you. You know, they're going to face all those challenges with you, so it's important that they know what to expect as well.
Hey, I want to thank Captain Richie for joining us at Police Headquarters. Thank you, Stacie, for coming back onto the show. Thank you, co-host Rob. Thank the crew for producing. Just to remind you that you can catch the video versions of these shows on our YouTube channel. We're PHXPD. You can help solve crime in your community by sending tips to Silent Witness. Visit silentwitness.org and call 480-WITNESS. Join us on all social media platforms. We are hiring. Go to joinphxpd.com. And until next time, be safe out there.